Hello. I guess I'm failing. Okay. All right. I don't know how I see all this. Maybe like this. Maybe not. Hey man, how's it going? I'm sorry I wasn't able to hang in there with your live earlier. I was working on the house and just took a minute to check in with everybody. Yo, Kurt. What's going on? Anyway, I'm sorry I wasn't able to hang out earlier. Was working on the house and just took a short break to check in with everybody. This is the first time I've ever done this. Is the audio okay? Can you hear me all right? Is it muffled? Give me a thumbs up if the audio is okay. Oh, Miss Rose. Somebody let me know if the audio is good. All right, good deal. Thank you, Kirk. So, good deal. So, everybody tell me what you're smoking tonight. I've got Davidoff Flake in here. I forget what it's called. My son gave it to me to try out. And the old Dr. Grabo Savoy. Man, this is an awesome little pipe. I think I gave $10 for it on eBay. Cleaned it up real good. Great little pipe, though. I love it. Blackmail. Who makes Blackmail? Hi, Miss Rose. Thanks for joining us. I'm not familiar with Blackmail. Not as a tobacco, anyway. Ah, Reaver. Is that pronounced right? Did I pronounce that right? Reaver? I saw that was the title of your live earlier. Are they, where are they out of? Are they out of the United States? Oh, I got you, Kirk. Boutique blend. Well, I reckon you should, Rose. I'm trying to use these matches and I'm failing. I'm cleaning out some cabinets at the house and found this matches tin. Welcome to Tobaccoville, North Carolina. It's pretty cool. I didn't even know I had that. Dakota, how's the live stream? Oh, bear with me just a second. Let me reboot my brain. How's your podcast going, man? And when are you having the next one? Do you have a regular schedule? How does that work? I really enjoyed. I've only caught one episode so far, but I really enjoyed it. You and your brother, good chemistry on there. You guys do a good job. It's an enjoyable listen. Every Saturday night. Good deal. How many followers do you have now, or is there a way that you guys can see that? I think I finally got it going. Made that look easy, didn't I? You were being creepy. Stop. Come in here and get on camera. Creepy future wife. Hello, Valdez. Kirk said, "Don't tell his wife." I am wearing what most people think is a wedding ring, have for years. Kirk. It isn't, though, as far as Emily knows. Actually, what this is I saw this online years ago, and just so happens this is the only ring or only finger that it fits on, but I don't know if it'll pick it up. It probably doesn't. It says Jesus on it. This is my reminder ring to keep my hands out of stuff they don't belong in. And I want to take a minute to tell a story about that. I wish I could show the picture, but it's on my phone. Captain Meerschaum, how's it going? Cancer, how you doing, man? Yeah, well, this just kind of happened, man. I just impromptu just jumped on here. So anyway, the ring. About 2 years ago, we had a really bad traffic accident in the town I work in, and I was on third shift then, and this was about noon or so, and they called me and woke me up and asked me to come assist. So I got out of bed and got my monkey suit on and spooled up the Batmobile and headed over there, and I wound up on traffic control. So I shut down the street at the other end so the state police could conduct. Unfortunately, it was 2 fatalities. So anyway, I look over and it caught my attention because the area we live in is predominantly white, Hispanic and non-Hispanic, and there basically aren't any Asian or black people or Indian. And there's a black guy sitting on the bench not far from me at the village hall, and it was hot that day. And I hollered over there. I said, "Hey man, you doing all right?" He said, "Yeah, I guess." I said, "Come over and talk to me." So he walked over there, and I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Well, I'm hitchhiking. I'm from way up north, and I'm trying to get down south. I tried to stay in Sparta, but they kind of run me off." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, are you thirsty?" He said, "Yeah." I said, so I reached in my car and got him a bottle of water. I said, "If you'll hang out till I get done here, we'll see what we can do for you." Okay, so he was looking for a ride, right? Make a really long story short, I'll never forget the guy, and we stayed in contact for a few months. I was able to, when I got off duty, give him a ride to a motel and get him put up, and the next morning got him a ride to the interstate about an hour away, and he just wanted dropped off there. And he wound up getting a great job with the union in a meat packing plant, making more money than I make. He's doing great. But he had this exact same ring on the exact same finger, and had it facing the exact same way for the same reason that I have my ring. So it's pretty remarkable. I'll never forget that. But this isn't a wedding ring, as far as Emily knows. Kirk said, don't tell your wife." Hey Bailey, there's some new names in here. Hi Carrie, good to see you. It is a great story, man. I wish I could show you the picture, but I got a picture of him and I when I got off duty and went and got my personal vehicle. I picked him up and got a picture of both of our hands together with that ring. The sad thing was he was a pastor, or an ex-pastor, according to him, and he found out his wife was cheating on him with somebody in the church, I guess, and he quit the church, jumped in a beer bottle, and stayed there for a while, and finally got out of it and was just looking to start a new life. But yeah, pretty remarkable story. That guy he's something else. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the traveling box. So I had introduced the idea and asked for people to join in a couple weeks ago. And I'm struggling with these matches, man. This Davidoff flake is really wet. I let it sit out for a half hour. Not long enough. Sorry, guys. So the traveling box, that's going to be going out probably next Thursday. I put in the final order from today for items for it, and that's supposed to be here by Wednesday. So the box will get shipped out by the next day. Hopefully it'll be here Wednesday. There'll be probably 15. I'll have 15 to 20 items in there. There's some, hey, how's it going? The League of the Keepers of the Briar. What's up, dude? You couldn't come up with a longer name? That's the best you could do? And so anyway, the box will be going out. So before I go any further, I've got a list of the names of people that's done VRs and told me that they wanted in. And I'm at the girlfriend's house right now. That's out at my camper, so I don't have that list in front of me. I think I remember everybody. But at any rate, Kirk, I see you, man. I will put you on there, and I'll make a note. Bear with me. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry, I don't want to forget. I got my mermaid pen. Don't leave home without it. How's it work like that? All right. Mermaid pen. Everybody's got a mermaid pen, I guess. Write myself a note because I'm old and I'll forget. So put that in the old pocket. Got you, Kirk. Volt. So if you're want in or have done a VR or have messaged me and said you wanted in, I think I got one email. I know I did, and got an email from a guy wanting in. That all works. Dill weed. Kirk. That all works right now. But just remind me, okay? Just to I want to double check and not leave anyone out. And so comment on the video that I did the VR for the traveling box, or send me an email. My email address is on my homepage in my description. Kirk's cracking me up. I don't want to leave anyone out, but I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, I've thrown all the resources I can at it, and there's some really cool. There's going to be some cool stuff. A little something for everybody. There's going to be something. There's tobaccos, pipes, some other things. There's going to be a little something for everybody. I'm excited. There's going to be something in there for the creative. For those of you that are a little creative and like to work with their hands, and it's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. So the rules, yep, I've got you on the list. I know, Rose. I know your name's on there. Dakota, was you in on that? Had you already told me you wanted in, or do you want in? It's not a big deal, man. I expect, what I'm looking at is I'm expecting each person to represent probably a week and a half or more of time with the box. So, from the time, I figure if there's 8 people, it's probably going to be 3 months before it makes its way back around. It's not a huge deal. Yeah, man. Captain Mearsham, just shoot me an email, please. That's the best way. Just shoot me an email, and then I know I'll have your name on the list. But Dakota, it's not a big deal, man. If you get the box on a Monday and you can't get it, and you don't get it out till 2 Saturdays from that day, it's not a big deal. Uh, you could do a VR, that'd be awesome, or just shoot me an email, whichever one you want to do, Dakota. Um, so I think I've got 9 or 10 people now. So I mean, it's going to be going around a while. I figure every week and a half or so, 2 weeks, the next person will get it, and hopefully do a VR. Hopefully they're able to do a VR. So the rules are real simple. If you take something, replace something. If there's 15 things in there and you want all 15 of them, it sounds like you had a good time. Just throw 15 things in their place, and you can do it however you want. You can, in the VR, you can say, I just ask that you not disclose what you're putting in the box before you ship it off. That way the next person, if they've seen your VR, it's kind of a surprise to them. But if you want to disclose what you're taking, you open the box and you go through all the stuff live, preferably if you can, open it while you're doing your video. You can say what you're taking if you want, or you don't have to, it's up to you. But I just ask that you not disclose what you are putting in there for the next person. So it will be going to Tom first, if I remember right. I believe that's right. But I'll get whoever I send it to, I'll get their address, but it'll be up to you to get the next person's address, to contact them, be in communication with them. So there'll be a list in the box of participants and the order of participants, okay? And I'm wanting to try to order the participants in a logical manner in order to make the shipping costs as low as possible, right? For example, I'm sure it's pretty self-explanatory, but if we've got 2 people from Southern Illinois where I live and 1 person in California, I'm not going to ship it to the guy in California first and have him ship it back, right? So I'll try to make a map and list people in order that makes the most sense. So that's the way that'll be done. As far as items go, you put in there whatever you want as long as it's legal, Walt. Deal weed. And that was cracking me up. Whatever you want as long as it's legal, So, all right, man. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in, brother. I appreciate you. I guess I've missed something in the chat here. Let's go back. The box is going to need to be made of duct tape. Yeah, that's also. I mean, I'm also going to try to make the box a reasonable size, so everybody doesn't have to pay $50 to ship it. Thanks for stopping in, Burley Slice. I appreciate you, brother. And I'll be looking for your VR or email, whichever one you decide to do. Have a good night, man. But I'll try to keep it in a reasonably sized box, so cut down on shipping costs for everybody. I know things are tough all over. But that's it. Take something and replace it. And feel free. I mean, I'm not going to be putting any tins in there that have been opened yet. They'll all be vacuum sealed new tins. But if you've got a tobacco that you try to pinch out of and didn't like it and don't know what to do with it, throw it in there. Somebody else might like it, whatever you want to put in there, it's totally up to you. And I'm excited to see what everybody else comes up with. I've got a feeling it's going to get pretty interesting. Everybody in the YTPC is so thoughtful and generous. Speaking of generosity, I'm the man in the box. Captain Mearsom's going to go on a slow ride. I mean, brother, it's going to be a slow ride too, based upon my experience with the United States Postal Service lately. I bought a book on eBay, and this is a regular occurrence. I buy a lot of pocket knives and books on eBay. And one of the pocket knives I still don't have. Another one took about 4 months to get. I bought a book on eBay that was postmarked July the 8th, and I just got it last weekend. So you're definitely going on a slow ride if you're going to jump in the box and take a ride, brother. Yeah, snail mail for sure, with a capital snail. I'll next day myself. Yeah, we'll get it next week. So anyway, where was I? Oh, anyway, everybody's so generous in the YTPC. I'm blown away. Every hobby has its own little subculture, right? The people that hang out on YouTube and do videos and I have and watch a lot of, and I consume a lot of pocket knife content and return to sender. Oh, you ordered a custom buck? What is it? Tell me what it is. I'm interested. I ordered one from them too, and I'm super happy with what they did. Man, I keep getting distracted. What was that, squirrel? Well, everybody's super duper generous and thoughtful. I'm excited to see where it goes. I still have to do. I was lucky enough to win the dog days, get first place in the dog days of summer VR with Sal Dog and Rudy, and I did a VR for the package I received from Sal Dog. I received Rudy's package a couple days or so ago. I need to do a video on that. The cob pipe he sent me, I don't know what model it is. It's no longer in production, but that thing is freaking awesome. Buck 110 Magna Cut with elk and silver nickel. That sounds like about how I would have spec'd it out. I love the silver nickel with the elk. I really, really do. And I don't have anything with a Magna Cut steel. I've nerded out on the Magna Cut and its composition, but I don't have anything. The prices are coming down, though, on some of the models featuring the Magna Cut, though, so I probably will have one of those before long. Put a picture of it on here, Captain Mearsham, when you get it, if you don't care. I'd like to see that. Yeah, I'm sure it does. What up, nerd? What's up, Johnny? Hey, Johnny, we were just talking about the traveling box, okay? The rules are you take one, you replace one. I'm gonna ship it off middle to the end of next week with 15 to 20 items in there. Take off 15 or 20, whatever, just replace it. I probably don't have to say that to everyone, but because of the character that I've seen in everyone in the YTPC. But hey, Sal Dog, how's it going, man? I was just talking about you. Don't nobody tell Sal Dog what I was saying. I was just talking about we're shipping so the traveling box will be going out to middle to late next week, and I'm pretty excited. There's a little something for everybody's. I was saying that put whatever you want in it, as long as it's legal. Somebody had talked about putting the ganja in there. Maybe not, but as long as it's legal, throw it in there, man. That'd be awesome. I'm really excited. Everybody's so thoughtful and generous. I'm really excited to see every time it stops somewhere when somebody does their VR. So I just asked that the only rule really is two rules: take something, replace something, and don't disclose in your video what you're going to put in there before you ship it to the next person. You can disclose what you're going to take if you want, or you don't have to. You can let that be a surprise to everybody too. But yeah, you get the box, do a video, open it up, check everything out, talk about everything. Like Walt said, talk about. I still am going to do a VR for you, Walt. I want to learn how to edit because I've got some ideas on. Walt wants us to tell him how wonderful he is, and I want to figure out how to edit really good because I was thinking about that today, about some ideas on that. But tell me how wonderful the box is, how much fun you're having with it, all that stuff. And so you're all getting coal. I told the little lady, I expect it to be gone before I get it back, maybe 3 months potentially or more. I don't know. It depends. There was another one or two people that said they wanted in this evening, so we may have 10 or 12 people. But it would be cool if I got it back right at Christmas. That would be super. That'd be neater than a giraffe feeder. So yeah. I don't know if that's it or not, Captain Mearson, but it probably wouldn't hurt. But he seems like a pretty laid back fellow as it is. I think he's probably conditioned at this point. He'll sit on it for 6 months before sending it out. Davidoff Petit. Boy, I'm gonna butcher this. Davidoff Petit Panatella. That's got to be at least fairly close. I can. I smoked Royal. Yeah, I can smoke coal. Yeah, yeah. You're not the first person I heard make a reference about Royal Yacht like that. I haven't tried it, and surprisingly, not really interested in trying. The Davidoff, the Davidoff cigar. My son had ordered some Davidoff something flake, some kind of. It's a vapor with a. I mean, it looks just like Peter Stokkebye's Luxury Bullseye Flake. If someone can help me out with the name of that, I know Walt knows. Davidoff something flake. That's a vapor with the black Cavendish center. Looks, and even side by side, the Davidoff might have a little more dark leaf in it, but they almost look identical. And I might do a newbie's take on a comparison of the two here pretty shortly. But he gave me a few flakes to try. And the cold just gets a bit hot. Yeah, yeah, I bet. Smooth. Boy, that was smooth. He gave me a couple flakes to try, and I don't know. I hate to pass judgment on it now because I let it sit out for 30 minutes. I could tell it was really wet, and that wasn't nearly enough. I'm gonna have to let it sit out overnight. Kirk says you get confused on what has Perique and Dark Fire or Cavendish. Brother, that's nothing. If you sat down and let me make a list of all the things that confuse me, you'd be astounded. Yeah. Yeah. It's little coins. It looks identical to Peter Stokkebye's Luxury Bullseye Flake Rose. It's a little round coin, and with black Cavendish right in the bullseye. Yeah. I've got some of his Rich Creek. Smoking some of Sow Dogs. That's awesome. Well, it would have been between this, one other blend, and Sow Dogs, because when I packed my pipe, that's what I had in front of me. Had this and Sutcliffe Virginia Slices and Sow Dogs. That's the three I had out. Yeah, so it's the Rich Creek is a Sow Dog. It's a trade secret, man. I don't know. It's one of his blends. In fact, it's so secret, he spray paints it with chrome spray paint before he sends it to you, so nobody knows. It doesn't even have a clue what's in it. We just know it makes you feel really funny. We all really like it. Yeah, no kidding. No. Boy, that would be a butthole move, bro. Hope you don't have to take a drug test soon. Boy, wouldn't that be a butthole move? It'd be like that Cheech and Chong movie. Wait, man, don't take that. What do you mean, man? I just took it. Whoa. Hope you ain't doing nothing for like the next 2 weeks, man. Hope you don't have to take a drug test soon. That's funny. A funny story about that. So there I was, minding my own business, working third shift, 3 to 3. And my partner, he was working 7 to 7. I'm in bed sleeping. He called me 4:30. Hey, what are you doing? I'm sleeping, bro. And guy's name, I'll call him David. We'd been looking for him, and David had been running from us. And he said, well, you want to come snatch David up with me? Sure. David has a reputation for being a bad actor. I'll just put it like that. You know, you never know what you're going to get into if you have contact with David. It might be if you might have to fist fight him or you might have to gunfight him. You just never know. He's one of those. Yeah, sounds good. Let me get my monkey suit on, spool the Batmobile up. I'll be right over. So I go over there. We go in this house and clear the house. He's already gone. And so he leaves this vehicle. It's a stolen vehicle, basically, out front. So we're conducting an inventory of its contents prior to being towed. And there's a pack of cigarettes laying in the bed of the truck with, I think it was in the bed, with one cigarette gone out of it, new pack of cigarettes, and smoking cigarettes. But in my rush, I'd left my cigarettes at the house. And I asked my partner, I said, you know, I'd only been a cop a year or two. I said, I know it's a little bit weird, but you think it'd be all right if I smoked one of those cigarettes? He's like, he ain't going to need them. They're going to be in the bed of that truck, and it's going to the yard. So I smoked one of these cigarettes, and I started feeling really weird, and then I started freaking out because this guy's known to be engaged in methamphetamine activities pretty heavily. I start freaking out thinking I'm high on meth. And he finally grabs, and I'm a laid back guy. I don't get too worked up about nothing. He grabs hold of me by my vest and he's like, hey, Top, look at me. Calm the F down, man. What's going on? It's like, man, I think I'm high on meth. You're high on meth? I don't know, man, but I feel really weird. What it was, I'll make a long story short, I almost went to the hospital. What it was I was just had a nicotine high because it had been like 5 or 6 hours since I'd smoked a cigarette. But I learned a valuable lesson. Never help yourself to something that don't belong to you. Don't ever do that. Man, I'll never forget that. What an idiot. Yeah, and that's not even the stupidest thing I've done. Yeah, so anyway, never smoke cigarettes that don't belong to you. He says, I hope don't have a drug test coming up. So when I got hired for the outfit I work for now a few years ago, I'd already, I started out working for the small town I live in. And I also got hired in a neighboring town to work part-time. So I was working 2 part-time jobs. Got hired on here full-time. I walk into the boss's office and Tunnel Tech Jr., how's it going, man? And man, this David off Flake, I'm struggling with it. And we're talking, and he's giving me my W-2s or whatever, I'm filling everything out. I said, you want to know something that's weird, Chief? He said, what's that? And I said, hey, Jess. I said, I work for 2 other police departments, and I've never had to take a drug test. I was like, that is so weird to me. He said, well, you don't have to worry about that here. I said, well, good, that's good. He said, because that's where you're going as soon as you get done filling those papers out. Okay, great, that's cool, you know. But it just blows my mind. I've worked for 3 different police departments, and only 33% of the time have I had to prove that I'm not a drug addict. That's weird. That's really weird to me. So See what you started, Walt? Walt's talking about cracking jokes, and all we've talked about is drugs. So, for the newcomers, Jess, a couple others, the traveling box will be shipped out mid to late week next week. And we've got 10 to 12 participants. So it's going to be a several month travel, probably at least 3, I'm guessing. If everybody has, potentially 3 months or so. I know everything about drugs. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They said, man, we need to test this guy. I smoke dope and drink beer every day. Yeah, I'm sure you do, buddy. On duty. So anyway, the traveling box, it'll be shipped out. Only a couple rules, as it's kind of don't even really need to say with this group, but if you take something, replace something, and also when you get it, do a video, and you can disclose what you're taking out of it, whether it's one items or every item, whatever. Or you don't have to, but I just ask that you don't disclose what you're putting in it before you ship it to the next person. There'll be a list, and each person that receives the box, it'll be up to them to get the mailing information for the next person on the list. So you'll get the box, you'll look at the list, see the next person in line under you, you'll get a hold of them and find out what their information is or where they want it sent. So yeah, it does. Makes the day go by real fast. Yeah. Worked for a school for a decade and no drug test done there either. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, for sure, Jess. Yeah, let's keep it a surprise for the next person down the road that's going to get it. It'll be fun. I'm really excited about this with the creativity, thoughtfulness, and generosity that seemingly everyone in the YTPC um, has. I'm expecting it to be pretty interesting and fun. Yeah, see, this guy takes drug tests all the time. Um, I guess I don't know. What part of the country are you from? Junior, north, south, east, west? I live in the Midwest, and man, with as prevalent as methamphetamine and fentanyl and heroin is here, you'd think that they'd want to know the cops aren't on any of those things, but only one of the 3 departments was interested. When I got hired, I was a carpenter for about 21 years, and when I went into police work, uh, the sergeant called me and he says, "Okay, you're hired. You take a power test in 16 days." And I said, "What's a power test?" And he said, "You was in the military, wasn't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "What's a PT test?" I said, "A PT test in 16 days?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Brother, I've been sitting on a couch eating Cheetos and smoking Marlboros for 10 years. What are you talking about, a PT test in 16 days? So thankfully, the run was only a mile and a half. And I say only. When I started, I could only run a block without stopping to walk. I've never had one, but I've had a contact high probably. I'm sure you have. Yeah. Yeah. So um, I gotta I gotta give praise to God real quick on that. So I mean, 16. Well, at that point, 15 days to train, which is where this watch came from. I've had this watch 4.5 years or more. Went out that next day, bought this watch so I could time my runs, and this watch has been in a lot of scuffles. Holy cow! The Casio W800H. If you guys want a durable watch, it's just gonna work. Nothing fancy, but man, this Casio W800H is the berries. Neater than a giraffe feeder. So anyway, I told everybody close to me, I said, "This is what I'm doing." And, you know, I'm either gonna pass that run or I'm gonna die on that track trying. And I'm in it. I really did. And I'll tell you, with a with 2 laps to go, I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. That's the honest to God truth. I can honestly say I've done a lot of running in my life in the military, and I know what it feels like to be exhausted and to push a lot. And I've never pushed that hard or been that exhausted. And it was just God. It really was. Finished it with 20 seconds to spare, passed, and I even had a guy try to push me down because he failed his test. He was younger than me and he had a little lower standard. And anyway, yeah, praise God. Passed the crap out of that test. What did I miss here? Why do I have a purple crown? Or is that a dunce cap? I don't know, man. Everybody, all the guys before you got a blue crown. I don't know why you're getting a purple crown, brother. That's kind of weird. I give up on the matches, man. I've literally have 9 matches laying here. I give up. Uh, Same thing happened to me about 30 years ago, Captain Mearsham. Same thing. Same thing. Yep. Why do you need enemies with friends like that, right? But hey, it works out for the best because I didn't have any business messing around with that stuff anyway. And I don't care what anybody says. I've worked it and I've watched it, and I did. There's a lot of people that's done drug work a lot longer than I did, but I did it for a little over 2 years. That's all I did was drug work, and I promise you, I don't care what anyone says. Marijuana is a gateway drug, not for everybody, but it absolutely 100% is a gateway drug. There's no other way to look at it. So, anyway. So I'm kind of glad that happened to me because I didn't have any business monkeying around with that goofy stuff anyway. Just hanging out with the wrong people when I was 18, 19. Now, how about this $17 lighter that's been going strong for a couple months? This thing's Miss Carolina Rose has got one just like it. That's pretty cool. Very, very rarely did I ever make an arrest for possession or delivery of methamphetamine that they didn't also have cannabinoids on their person, in their residence or in their vehicle. Very, very rarely. Now, I've encountered a lot of people with cannabinoids that didn't have meth, but very rare do I encounter somebody in possession of methamphetamine or heroin or fentanyl that didn't also have cannabinoids. Jonathan Salas, have you experienced the same? I'll refrain from discussing my drug history. Oh, I wish you would refrain from that until I hang up here and you can go live and tell us all about it in your live stream, Jess. Save that for a live talk. Swiss Army lighter, that's right, Tunnel Tech Jr. My doctors killed me with painkillers. That was rad. Yeah, I bet it was. That is a blessing. Yep, Sal Dog said, yep, he's experienced the same thing. That is a blessing, Jess. Um, yeah, yeah, God loves us and proves it through drug testing. Yeah, Jess is a bad influence, man. I'm telling you. So that's the scoop on on the box. I'll be shipping it mid to late next week. I just placed my last order for things to include in it today from Smoking Pipes. Pretty excited. There's going to be some cool stuff in there, and so I ain't saying nothing. There might be police in here. Oh, come on, Kurt. We're all friends here. You want to be cool, don't you? Everybody does it. Did Doc have to leave because he doesn't talk to cops? That's what he said. He sent me an email and said, I don't talk to cops, man. I said, I don't blame you. I don't either. I don't even like cops. Cops are weird. I do like cops. A lot of cops are buttholes, though. Unfortunately, some cops are buttholes, but a lot of them are super cool too. Yeah, his wife was. That's what he said, Captain Merson. His wife was a cop. I had the same deal. It was in the Guard infantry. That's who I went to Afghanistan with. Tunnel Tech Jr. was infantry unit, National Guard here in Illinois. So, yeah, we went to Bananistan with them. Was attached to the 101st Airborne, but I wasn't airborne. I wasn't a cool soldier. I was just regular grunt. I didn't get to do anything super cool. Oh, I'm sure you know some cool cops besides us, but I'll agree probably the coolest cops you know are here in the YTPC. I'll go with that. Yeah, that's true, Jess. It does make a difference, doesn't it? When I was in my early 20s, I didn't dislike cops, but I was a whole lot happier if I didn't see any. First 100 second. You got body cam footage from your buddies in Missouri. What part of Missouri are they from? I've had yeah, we definitely have some pretty funny encounters with people. Do you act normal then? That's hilarious. No, Rose, I laugh much more. He laughs more and eats more brownies. Hey, funny story about that, at least to me. Yeah, after all, that's right, Sal Dog. Let's come to a conclusion that doesn't involve handcuffs because handcuffs and paperwork go hand in hand. Yeah, let's try to come to a reasonable solution. Yeah. Oh man, that's awful, Captain Mersham. That's awful, man. I guess they wouldn't. Southern Missouri. Yeah, I live in Southern Illinois, so I guess they're just across the river from me. Carolina Rose, so that's rude. Yeah. So, funny story about THC. My mom, a few years ago, my mom was born in 1950, and I know she, by her own admission, smoked a lot of the marijuanas when she was in her teens and early 20s. So she was like legit, hippie, I guess, probably. But anyway, so, growing up, I was raised in a Christian home, none of that stuff, right? So then my dad passed away in 2000, and then she wound up, well, anyway, here a few years ago, she says, Hey, Todd, one of my helpers is going to take me to get me, I got my red card and I'm going to go pick up some marijuana from the dispensary. And I said, cool. I wasn't real thrilled about it, but whatever. Okay, Mom. I said, well, just do yourself a favor. Pick yourself up a box of Twinkies on the way back. You're going to need them. And we had a good laugh, right? Later that night, I get a call from her. At the time, I was a single dad and raised my daughter by myself. A little girl was probably 10 years old, 11. She calls me, you and your daughter eating yet? Not yet. You guys want pizza? I'll buy if you'll fly. Sure, Mom. I'll go get us some pizza. So I get to her house and I call him. I get off the phone. She says, "What'd you get?" So she's higher than giraffe butt. Okay, like she's blown out. She's blown. "What'd you get?" I said, "I got a supreme, a deep pan supreme pizza, Mom." "What kind?" I said, "It's a deep pan supreme pizza. It's got everything on it except for anchovies from Huck's." "I know, Todd, but what kind?" I said, "Mom, it's a deep pan supreme." And she got irate. "What kind?" And I said, "Round. Man, it's a round supreme pizza from Huck's." And she says, "Why didn't you say so?" Smoke another one, Mom. So, yeah, not a big fan. THC is, people are goofy. People are goofy, man. It's a round pizza, brother. What kind? It's a pizza, a round one. So, this Davidoff flake isn't bad. I think I prefer the bullseye flake, but it's probably not fair for me to say that because this was so wet. I let it set out for 30 minutes and it's still way too wet. I'm gonna have to let it set out overnight before I really can give it a fair shot. But they look identical, almost indistinguishable. The flakes, the round coins. So I like it, Davidoff. I've run my mouth for 50 minutes now. I guess I need to cut it short pretty soon. But man, thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with me. This is super duper cool. I've never done one of these. 8 people hanging out. That's unbelievable. I never would have dreamed there were that many people so bored in the world all at one time. Yeah, but here you are. Oh, just as I said that, one leaves. Man, it's Sow Dog. Tag you're at, brother. I hosted this one. You host the next one. Yeah, this is the cool kids. What do you mean you're out of the loop, Jess? You are the loop, brother. Yep, you're up next, Sow Dog. So the traveling box is going out. Sow Dog, I got a package coming to you. And Jess, there's one coming to you. I owe both of you guys a package. And I need to do a VR for Rudy. I got his gift from the gall that him and Sow Dog had. And man, that corncob pipe he sent me is freaking awesome. It might be the best smoking pipe I have. I was blown away. This Missouri Meerschaum, it's real similar to a Pony Express, but they no longer make this particular one, so I'm not sure what model it is. But it's got a big bowl on it and a saddle bit, and the thing just smokes awesome. Stays cool all the way through. It's yeah, it's really, really, really something. And he sent me a couple of his favorite tobaccos, and what were they called? Oh, one of them's a blonde. Billy Bud, that's what it is. Billy Bud and Billy Bud Blonde, and I like both of those. So, yep, I got to do a video on that and thank him. Yep, Billy Bud. I got to thank him properly. I like the Billy Bud. It made me feel kind of funny, but I liked it. It's strong, and I'm not mad about that though. I like a little bit of nicotine. So anyway, outstanding. I appreciate that, Jess. Yeah, everybody's so generous and thoughtful. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm not real good. Not real good at. I think most people are like that, right? We're real good at giving gifts, but we're not real good at getting them, and I just never really know what to say. There's Rudy. I was just talking about you, Rudy. Wasn't I? And it was all good, wasn't it, everybody? It was all good. I was talking good about Rudy. Hi, Rudy. Good to see you, brother. Literally was just talking about you, how I got your package and I need to do a VR to thank you properly. I tried the Billy Bud and the Billy Bud Blonde, and I really like both of them. I really like the Billy Bud. The Blonde was good, but for me, just kind of middle of the road good. But the Billy Bud, the regular one, stood out to me. And yeah, whatever Todd says. That's right. Whatever Todd says. I'll have to tell. I'm going to tell uh, my girlfriend that you guys said that. Whatever Todd says. Yeah. She was in here earlier. Hey, you at the head. Hey. Let's see if we can get her in here. She's kind of shy, but yeah, my mind's like a sieve too, Captain Mersham. Yeah, I could see that. It's kind of light, isn't it, Rudy? Kind of light. Hey, you at the head. We'll see if she may ignore me. She was in here earlier. Uh, you've never. I don't believe that. I don't believe. I don't know if I believe that, Walt. In my mind, you've tried everything. Like in my mind, you're the guy that every blender sends their samples to before they put it out on the market. It's like you're the guy. You need to see if she's a real person. Sometimes, hang on just a second. Try, hey, honey. Hey, honey. Hey, I got a response. Come here. Bring your head. That worked, Carrie. Believe it or not. That's so weird that hey, you with the head didn't work, but hey, honey did. Come here, there's a fire. It's your butt. Come here. Don't care. Come here anyway. She's not going to. I tried. Yeah. I got I got a surprise for you. Oh, I do. It's a surprise. She's real, I promise she's real. Just the thought of that, the whole is she real, isn't she, just kind of creeped me out a little bit. That was a little creepy. She's real. Come here and prove that you're real. Stop laughing at me. She's laughing. It's a little creepy. It's a little weird. It's getting a little weird. Come here, and at least you don't have to be on camera. Just come here and say something. She hears about the YTPC all the time. She, I bet you anything she's gonna get on the live stream and type. Ask where the butter is. Hey, where's the butter? Yeah. No, it's not. That's a great question. Stop embarrassing me. Yeah. That's a great question, Rose. I had somebody ask me earlier. They said, "Hey, can I see a picture of your badge?" And I was like, I wasn't on duty, by the way, but I was like, "Yeah, it's not. I don't have it though. It's at. I gotta go get it." Yeah. Yeah. Am I AI? No, but AI creeps me out, man. Uh, yeah, real bad. AI creeps me out real bad. I got on L Lincoln M Mary LM Arena ARENA common spelling lmarena.com, and it's like I don't know, they do a poll to see what AI chat engines or whatever they're called are the most popular. you get on there and you can ask questions, and man, it got creepy on me the other night. I was asking it questions about God, and it was creepy. It was real creepy. Yeah, I'm sure there is, Carrie. I don't ever get on Instagram. I don't social media very much. I have a Facebook. I only have a Facebook profile because I was dating, or still am dating, my girlfriend. But I had one before that, but it was a fake one that I used for work. Um, but hey, I can't find that butter. Didn't work, Rudy. Yeah, AI. Well, I saw uh, Carrie and Rose. I saw a video on YouTube yesterday. I think it was. It said that claimed that Eli Musk gave his life to Christ, and him talking about his conversion, and it was AI. It looked like him, and it kind of sounded like him. His voice, they nailed the voice, but his timbre and cadence was off a little bit. It was noticeable. But for the first few seconds, I thought it was really him. I mean, it was his, it was him. His mouth was moving, matched the words perfectly. But the more I watched, I realized it was AI. Crazy, crazy. Well, yeah. I mean, all the old timers growing up, I heard old timers say all the time, "Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see." Right? And I think that applies today more than ever. Yep. I'm gonna get off here. I won't keep you guys much longer, but give me just 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. I told her it was getting a little creepy. Yeah, officer down. Yeah, so AI, wow. I don't know, don't call 911. I did that one time accidentally. I was on third shift and I was falling asleep, and I guess I don't know, I accidentally dialed 911 on myself. Sal Dog, you're next on the live stream. Oh, why did I just inhaled that? That was IR smart. That was great. Um, I'd love to see a live stream. You just talking about some of the dumbest calls you've been dispatched to. And if you're like me, I'm trying to think now. I put myself on the spot. I can't really think. I'd have to sit down and really think about it. And people all the time, coworkers, hey, you remember when? Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. There's so many. Yes, you, you. This is not AI just piping. You are in real time. Yep, yep. It is currently 11:15 Eastern time. So you're real time, brother. I think. I think. Yeah. He said, "Woo." I think the craziest one I got dispatched to recently was, it wasn't that recently now, but the craziest one I've just been dispatched to in recent times was the demon possessed guy. That was that was fun. But yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't have to say anything. the gray squirrel old lady call. That does, I'm interested now. You've piqued my interest. Yeah, you don't have to say anything. In fact, you can just call them and hang up, and we're still going to be there. Yeah, so Carolina Rose, I think you can probably understand this as a police officer, knowing that this guy is obviously manifesting demons. I know what that is, right? But nobody else does. So yeah, it was wild. Yeah, yeah. And everybody's talking about how he needs to be evaluated. He doesn't need evaluated. He needs deliverance. Sheriff's over a gang issue, and the deputies looked at the photo that was taken and said, "Good trigger discipline." Yeah, that sounds like something a cop would say. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, our cell phones, if you call 911, they'll triangulate your location, and we'll know within. I don't know if maybe some venues have better capabilities than others. In my venue, we can triangulate your distance, your location within. I don't know what he say, Sal Dog. Probably 150 feet, 200 feet, right in there. You know, yeah, probably a couple hundred feet. It gets us close enough we can find you. You know, yeah, yeah, a couple hundred feet. Yeah, I definitely want to hear the gray squirrel old lady story. Well, Jess said if you hit a deer, they'll be here in 15 minutes or whatever. Uh, I live in, some would say, very rural southern Illinois. The town I live in has a population of 600. The town I work for is under 5,000, way under 5,000, probably closer to 3,000. We patrol two towns, and the other town over that we patrol has maybe 800. And it's just between towns. I mean, cows, cornfields, and coal. That's what we have here, with a few houses here and there, right? So sometimes response time. If you live in the county, they might be 10, 15 minutes before the cops arrive, and that's not just for hitting deer. That might be something that you really need an officer for. But the counties I live in and around, the county I work in, they'll be on night shift. There's only two guys on duty for the whole county. The county I live in, two guys on duty for the whole county, two deputies. That's it. And so the whole defund the police thing it's effective. Uh, we don't like it, but it is definitely effective. They take away all our funding, and we no more cops, which is crazy to me. There's only one kind of person that don't want police officers, and that's criminals. So why aren't they looking at the people that are passing this legislation? But that's for another time. I wouldn't call if I hit a deer. That deer's coming home with me. Yeah, that's the way most people are. If they call us, they're probably where I live. We're all hillbillies, We're all country folk. Uh, they're probably going to take the deer, you know. Yeah, at least the back straps, right? Hey, Emily. Oh wow, 40. Well, you probably have a lot bigger counties there. It'll sound really big, but it's not huge. The county I live in, I think, is 350 square miles. Um, so there's it's small relative to a lot of other counties, and the county I work in is probably 400 square miles. Yeah, you can eat deer that you've hit. It just depends, right? Like if their guts are exploded and they live for a while, probably don't want to eat that deer, right? Because who knows what toxins are in their bloodstream. But if that deer dies immediately and it's not pumping any blood, you probably, yeah, you can eat the meat. There's no toxins that get pumped through the meat in that deer. Yep. Yeah, so maybe Captain Mearson said 45 there as well. Maybe we're not doing too bad around here. Yeah, it can definitely go septic. You want to get it cleaned pretty quick. "30 minutes running code when you got stabbed. That's crazy, Sal Dog." Yeah, so maybe we're doing better than I thought here, man. Yeah, and you landed on your head too, didn't you? Wow, that story that you told. I think it was in. Did you tell that story in your video when you had the female type, your friend on there with you, or was it in the podcast? But yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Yeah, we don't have that kind of. We don't have it that bad here, man. There's been a few times I've needed backup, and there's been a few times I've been the guy that was running 125 mile an hour to get to somebody in a neighboring venue, and anywhere that I'm going to respond to, I can get there within 10 to 15 minutes. Now that's running 125 mile an hour, but that's crazy. 30 minutes, you're fighting for your life, literally. That's crazy. Yep. So, what did I miss with Jess? Rose said Jess has the worst vehicle luck. Yeah, I'm glad Sal Dog made it too, man. That's awesome. Jess, I heard you make a statement the other day, something about you wished that something you backed into had been the size of that fella's little John Deere tractor. Did you back into something at work or something? It's possible, Rose. It blew my mind that nobody helped her. I never did see exactly where she was stabbed, and I didn't read the report that gave what her injuries were. But yeah, with direct pressure, it's possible that she could have been saved. I don't know. We don't know. Yeah, that was really sad. I couldn't believe nobody. They all just sat there, man. I don't know. I guess I live in a different. The people I live around are just different. They're built different, I guess. I don't know. Jess said all my crashes were head on. Way to go, brother. If you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly, right? Yeah, people don't want. Yeah, I don't get that. People don't seem to want to get involved. Yeah, Sow Dog's right. I mean, if they hit an artery, maybe if somebody would have applied direct pressure and been able to get their finger in there, and maybe the problem with the neck though, if it's superficial enough where you can just apply pressure and they still have the blood going to the brain, just not bleeding out, then of course, yeah, they can be saved. The problem with hitting a major artery is if it's bad enough where you have to stop it, now they don't have blood to their brain, so it's just tough. That's one of those you could what if all day long. Miss Rose, it's hard to say. I don't know. It's sad. No matter how you cut it, the saddest part is that nobody intervened or did anything. They just sat there. And maybe that's easy for me to say though, because I'm built that way, but I'm also professionally, I'm used to jumping in there when something crazy is going on, right? Um, the first the first incident I ever had where I had to go hands on with somebody as a police officer, I was in training and riding along and didn't have a weapon on me because I hadn't been through the 40-hour class yet, and all I had was a pocket knife. And this guy went for a weapon in his car, and I just jumped in on top of him, and then we're fighting. Um, I'm, I guess maybe I'm built that way, or I don't know. But we do it for a living. But I still have a hard time believing, as a regular citizen that doesn't do that for a living, that I wouldn't jump in. But maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Guess it's hard to know what other people's shoes feel like. Don't know. Yeah, that's right, Carrie. Yeah, I don't know, man. I agree with you, Rudy. I mean, yeah, I agree with you 100%, Rudy. Uh, they should be held accountable uh, to some degree. Something's got to happen. Let's pull these people in and have a talk. At the very least. Yeah, I can't either, Rudy. I guess we're just built that way. But um, I'm sure you have, Jess. Yeah, and I'm not surprised to hear that you always jump in. I've got a friend that's a truck driver, and he moved down here from way up north of Chicago. And in fact, he reminds me a lot of you. You guys, your your speech, your accent, your cadence, your timbre, everything is real similar. Um, but at any rate, he's told me a lot of stories. He's seen it. Yeah, I mean, I'd say you guys that drive over the road for a living see as much crazy crap as a lot of cops do. Oh wow, Jess. Yeah, that's tough, brother, and something that's tough, man. I've only had that. I've only had that once, so you had it twice as bad as I have, man. Um, yeah, yeah, that's really tough. Yeah, the younger generation was brought up different. Yeah, that's right, Sal Dog. But I don't know. Whenever I went over to Banana Stand, they told us, they said, "Oh, you guys, you know, that think you're tough, and when the crap hits the fan, you're going to be Rambo and that. Maybe you will, but a lot of you are going to run, and that'll fight or flight, and you're not going to know who you are until that moment comes." And man, that freaked me out when they told me that, because I'd been in fist fights and stuff up until then, but I've never had somebody try to murder me with a firearm. So it kind of freaked me out, and I believed him when he said that. Of course, I wanted to think that I was going to get in there and get some if and when the time came, and it did, and and I feel really blessed that God built me to get some instead of get away. It would be hard for me to. It would be hard for me to look at myself in the mirror if I was the fight type, which I guess I shouldn't if you're built that way. But yeah, yeah, you're right, Captain Merson. You don't hit women. I've wanted to a couple times, but I never have. My ex-wife hit me harder. She would walk up behind me and hit me in the face when she'd get mad at me. And she hit me harder than some men have in my life. She had a pretty good right hook on her. She'd make you think about hitting women. Yeah, it sure is, Sal Dog. It's a real thing. I walked in. I was first to respond to a hanging victim, somebody that hanged themselves, and she made it, by the way. Praise God. Man, I was worried about that little girl. But she had the snore going on, but she actually made it. So, yep, for sure. Well, guys, thank you so much. It's getting late. I need to bathe, and I guess the little lady's probably asleep by now. So she didn't. She's real. She's really real. She's real. Uh, this is her pen. She's real. This is her tablet. These are her flowers. She's real. These are her lips. She's real. Yep. All right. Sure she is. Yeah, I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. We'll do this more often. Sow Dog, I'm tagging you in. You're next, man. I expect big things. Yeah. Just keep the tassels on the outside of your shirt this next time, okay? I appreciate that. That would be great. All right, man. Thank you, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the flip side.